Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Orange County Funding Corporation Board Meeting for April 15th of 2026. I'd like to ask everybody to rise and pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Bill.
Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Dean Tamburri.
Here.
Lee Benton.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Mark Green.
Here.
Giovanni Palladino.
Here.
Am I missing anyone? We have 6 of 7 board members. Dr. Odak is an excused absence. For staff, myself, Bill Fioravanti, Kelly Riley, Billy Iverson on audio visual, our general counsel Rudy Zoda, and our state monitor Brian Sandvich. That's everyone.
Thank you. I'll document the proof of notice on page 2 of our packet that this meeting was duly noticed. The next item on the agenda is the minutes from our March 18th, 2026 meeting. Is there a motion to accept those minutes? Mark, thank you. Second? Linda? Discussion on those minutes, corrections, additions? I might just note, because of our auditor at that meeting being late, this meeting in the minutes was held after the IDA meeting last month. Not hearing any corrections, additions, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. And new business, starting with the, where's governance on here?
It's on the IDA.
It's on IDA. We don't have committee reports on this one.
Okay, but we did have governance.
We did.
So, Mr. Chair, I'm happy to
And
report that
finance.
we did have a governance committee meeting.
Mhm.
It was short, and we have nothing that came out of committee for any
Okay.
recommendations to the board.
Okay, thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
And moving on to Mark with the financials.
Yes, if you could turn to page 5. Very quickly, we had a T-bill came due, so revenue of $14,500. Our standard management fee to the IDA. You'll notice our bookkeeping fee is a little bit higher because that was because of the audit, and the insurance expense is exactly how it was. So we actually had a net revenue of just short of $5,400 for the month. We do not have a CD coming due until July, so we don't need a discussion on that. And we voted to have the board approve the financials,
Including the payables.
including the payables, correct.
And just for clarification again, Bill, is it just the March payables that we're approving?
It is.
Okay,
We're going back and forth on exactly, in finance committee, exactly how you want
Okay,
it, but
yep.
it is, we're approving the March.
okay.
Payment.
So I would entertain a motion to accept the March financials for 2026 as well as the March payables for 2026.
So moved.
By Lee, second. Dean, thank you. Other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Anything else that needs to come before the funding court meeting tonight? Hearing none, a motion to adjourn would be appreciated.
Make motion.
Thank you, Giovanni. Mark, second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. And this meeting concluded at 5:06 PM. I believe we started at 5:02. I didn't say that. Meeting adjourned. And I think when you say, Billy, we're,
Good to go, Jeff.
okay. Welcome, everybody, to the Orange County Industrial Development Agency meeting for April 15th, 2026. I'd like to call the meeting to order and begin with the roll call, please, Bill.
Jeffrey Christ.
Here.
Dean Tamburri.
Here.
Lee Benton.
Here.
Linda Muller.
Here.
Mark Green.
Here.
Giovanni Palladino.
Here.
We have 6 of 7 members present. For staff, Bill Fioravanti, Kelly Riley, Billy Iverson on audio visual, Rudy Zoda, our general counsel is here, and our state monitor Brian Sandvich.
Thank you, Bill. And proof of notice is documented on page 2 of our meeting packet. And moving on to the minutes from our March 18th, 2026 minutes. They were in our packet that board members have received. Would there be a motion to accept those minutes?
So moved.
By Linda, second.
Second.
Giovanni, thank you. Additions, corrections, otherwise? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. On my chair report, I would just note a couple things, and you may want at the same time look at Bill's CEO report, which will come up in just a sec on page 6 of our packet. I did attend the EPA Brownfields assessment. Actually, the meeting at 4 sites considered brownfield sites in Orange County, as well as a meeting at the, what was that location? In
Emergency
Goshen?
Services Center.
Okay, Emergency Services
911
Center.
so to speak.
It was
Yep.
well attended, a lot of questions and answers. It's neat to have that energy and action within that. I might mention the Regional Food Bank had a event last week to connect farmers and the food insecure line of process for food management. The Commissioner of Ag and Markets, Richard Ball, was leading the panel discussion, and it was nicely received. I know everybody around this table is aware of the donation that the Funding Corp made for the generator there, and that was greatly appreciated for sure. Lastly, there was an Alliance for Balanced Growth meeting, which is affiliated with the partnership. Is that correct to say, Bill? Discussing state regulatory things, and there was a panel of the DEC regional director, the regional director for Department of Transportation, as well as the head of the Orange County
Department of Health.
Department of Health, yes.
Section, yeah.
And I did decide to ask a question with the audience listening about the condition of some of our state roads. And I specifically mentioned Route 208 south of 17K is just horrible going into Neely Town Road and all of that. And she, caught up to her after the questions ended and gave her my card. She emailed me back this afternoon. She checked out the road. It was horrible. And she's directing the local DOT people to evaluate and repair it. So we'll see if that happens. But
Fill a couple potholes, that's all they do.
yeah.
Exactly, a little popping in.
So that's my report, unless there's any questions for me. Bill, you're up, CEO report, please.
Great, yeah, I'll touch on the EPA as well. Again, our EPA Brownfields Assessment Grant, $500,000. We're really in full swing with that. We have several phase 1 studies going on, and then we have a couple of phase 2s that are about to begin. Phase 1's being mostly paper studies, where you'll do research and find out what you can about prior contamination on the site. Phase 2's where you actually do soil borings and sample soil samples as well, so we'll really get a definitive answer on levels of contamination in these sites. So several sites around Orange County, and then we had the event that Jeff alluded to, which was a tour of 4 of those sites with EPA Regional Administrator Mike Martucci and his team. So they came, a full team from the EPA in New York City came down and were part of that. We also had a number of folks from the county, Orange County Partnership,
Good point.
Orange County government as well. And it was a really great, I think, a joint success. EPA was thrilled with the event and with the day, and we were really happy, especially with their participation. Then we had the public event Jeff referred to at the 911 center. We had county legislators there, we had municipal leaders, mayors, et cetera, members of the public. We had a really nice cross-section of the community there to hear really what the program is all about. It was the first of a few public sessions we'll have. Future ones will be more oriented around sites specifically and talk about potential future planning and reuses of those sites. But this is the first one. It was a big success. Also, Paris reporting. We submitted our 2025 Paris reports for both OCIDA and OCFC in advance of the March 31st deadline. Speaking of Paris, we of course had our Paris training with Julie Marshall, who works with Kelly and Marty to compile our reports annually. She came and conducted an in-person event. We had 5 out of 7 members that were there. And we'll look to reschedule a Zoom training with the two that couldn't make it, but thanks for everyone that was able to make it, given your schedules, and I thought it was positive training, and I got good feedback on that. So it's important that board members are more comfortable with the Paris reports and what goes into them, and some great questions asked. We also, I keep mentioning the Authorities Budget Office ABO training. We have more members that have taken it, but we have probably, I think, 3 that still need to take it. It's a simple online training that's usually conducted at 9:30 a.m. The next 2 dates are May 13th and May 27th. Dean, I know you were looking for a date, so I just sent you those so you have a copy of that. But we want to continue to move everyone through that training so everyone is up to speed. I also participated in a seeker reform press conference yesterday. The governor has proposed reform to the State Environmental Quality Review Act, which is basically a very stringent environmental review that can go on for years. She's basically boiling it down very simply. She's looking to put like a 2-year shot clock on that, so you have to complete the seeker process in that time length around housing. And the whole idea is to speed up the creation of affordable, actually all sorts of housing, but especially affordable housing. So the Orange County Partnership and actually the Kingston Mayor, Steve Noble, he organized that, and it was kind of a regional effort, and we were all there. Our counter-expert from the Orange County Partnership spoke at that event, so I was up there with them in Albany showing our support. You mentioned the Alliance for Balanced Growth this morning, so I won't add to that. And then lastly, you and I are attending the New York State Economic Development Council's conference, their annual meeting in Cooperstown, May 20th through the 22nd. It's further down in our agenda, but just as a reminder, it seems like it works for everyone. We moved up our May meeting from May 20th, which was a conflict with that conference, to Wednesday, May 13th. So please note that in your calendars. That's everything for me today, in addition to what was in my report.
Any questions for Bill?
Well, I have a question for both of you. Have you noticed there's a phenomenal new commercial that's on the airwaves about Orange County?
A tourism commercial?
A tourism commercial?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's fantastic.
Great.
Right, from Legoland to Woodbury Commons to Goshen's downtown, on and on and on. What about some love for Port Jervis? You know, we're the outdoor recreation capital of Orange County. We have whitewater rafting, we have hundreds of miles of bike trails and running trails, and
I'll take that up with the director of tourism.
would have been nice. We pay taxes too in Orange County.
And I know tourism loves Port Jervis. I know.
Well, they didn't love us on that commercial, and it's a fantastic commercial. I'm proud of it, I love all of it.
Okay,
But I think it was an opportunity missed.
maybe there's another cut. Let's see.
I hope so, because we have quite a little town up there that's also part of Orange County, and we're doing some pretty good
No doubt
stuff.
about it. As you know, it's a major focus of ours on the Brownfields grant.
Absolutely.
So we're definitely paying attention to it, but I will pass that on to the tourism
I
department.
would appreciate that, thank you.
Anything else for Bill? We good? Let's move on to, could we do governance committee first? Linda,
Of course,
please.
you can. So we had a couple of things that came up. First, we had a conversation about a personnel policy regarding floating holidays and taking time off. We've asked to hold off so we can review the entire policy, try and make it less complicated than more complicated for staff. So that is on the agenda, Mr. Chair, for next month. The Department of Labor job listing is, we have a recommendation out of committee to ensure that the application and the lease reflect the proper naming, which is Department of Labor Workforce Development, not the old acronym that was in there.
Yes.
So we just asked that policy be updated and changed to be more appropriate. On old business, on the recapture discussion, so when an application is made, an applicant will talk about the total number of potential new hires that they'll make. We're gonna relook at how we count those numbers, because the world of work has changed. There's remote folks, and so how do you count those as opposed to those that are assigned to a specific site? So we'll be bringing that up at the next governance committee meeting. And that is all I have to report.
Questions for Linda? And I might ask, do we have to take any action on the Labor Department naming listing?
We're gonna come back on that as well, the next
Oh,
couple
okay.
months, so
Got it.
we'll address
Yep.
both those.
I thought we were
in regards,
making a
Yeah, I thought we
recommendation.
made a motion.
Oh, we did that.
I
I just
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So we need to
Rudy and I
clarify
made
here?
a couple calls, and I got
That's right.
so the federal one, and the state pulls from the federal side, is called I'll shot this to you, National Labor Exchange, NLX, to post jobs on, and then the state ingests off that.
So we wanna make sure that we reference both of those in our documents. Okay,
Yes.
And that's clear, so we
And
can.
the application and the
And-
lease agreement.
correct. So I think that is what we're making a recommendation
Yep.
from our committee to the board to.
Perfect.
NLX means exchange.
I would ask for a motion on that, Rudy, because
Yes,
it's set to be considered.
correct.
Everybody understand that recommendation? Would anyone care to make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Dean. Seconds to that
I'll
motion?
second.
Giovanni, any other discussion? It's a pretty minor, just listing on our document for, is it the local labor document, Bill?
It's in our closing application,
Oh, that's right.
our
Yep.
leaseback agreement, and in our application, mentioned in our
Yes,
application.
perfect. I'll call the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Beautiful. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Finance Committee, Mark Green, please.
All right, if I can refer you to page, geez, I don't even know what this is back here. It's like the second or third from the back.
42. I think. Did I get that right?
41.
41. Okay, yep.
If you go to 41, you can see that we had a T-bill come due, so, just under 77,000 in revenue. We also had the monthly pass-through from the FC. But real quick, we had a management fee of $2,500 for brownfields. Usually that matches up perfectly about 2/3 of the way down. It does not this month simply because of a difference in paying or billing. So that $2,500 is part of that 22,403 that you see about 2/3 of the way down. We will see another 19,903 next month. But that circles up well. There were a couple of just little odds and ends, like a little bit extra money for GoDaddy for things. I also just want to mention, we went through the Anshin billing and want to make sure it is 100% perfectly clear. We have paid the bills for October and November. That could be documented and justified. We paid over $20,000 to Anshin out of the $60,000 they billed. Unfortunately, they have continued to resist sending us documentation on that other $40,000 of bill. And until they do so, we will not be paying that bill. So, again, what you're reading in the papers is incorrect. We absolutely pay our bills at the IDA, but there has to be documentation with it. It cannot just be a blank check from the taxpayers of Orange County. We then reviewed bills from December and January from Anshin. And out of the bill of just under $21,000, we as a committee could justify paying just under $5,000 of that. It was $4,000 and change. The rest was undocumented. We put in requests for documentation and backup, $4,069.63, thank you. Until we get that backup documentation, we will not be paying that remaining $16,000. For January's bill, absolutely nothing on that bill could be documented, so we are not paying that $19,264 bill until Anshin returns the questions that we have asked of them. And that's my...
Thank you, Mark. Good summary. Any questions for Mark? I'd like to consider accepting the March 2026 payables as well, financials, I should say, and the March payables.
I'll make a motion to
Motion
accept.
by Linda, second.
I'll second.
Giovanni, thank you. Any other questions on those? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried, thank you. Personnel policy, we're holding off on.
Yes, we'll come back to the board on that.
And you had mentioned rescheduling the May meeting to the 13th, a week
Yes.
earlier, which I think is still 4 weeks from today.
It is, actually, it works out pretty well.
So,
Shall we vote on that? Better to have board approval on that, or
Sure. It doesn't hurt.
can we get a motion on this?
So moved.
thank you, Lee.
Second.
Second by Linda, and this is for the revised May meeting date of May 13th, 2026.
Correct.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Anything else we need to be discussing today?
Yes, sir.
We good, board? I'm trying to meet Linda's time record for the governance committee, but I didn't quite make it.
3 minutes and stuff.
That's tough. Not even close.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Thank you all for being here. Meeting adjourned at 5:23. Thank you.
Thank you.